This is the radar tower at the Royal Air Force Base in Stenigot, Lincolnshire. It is 110 metres tall, and this, literally the top of this tower, was one of the first places that radar was used for defence. This tower helped keep Britain safe in World War II. Stenigot was part of the Chain Home, a network of towers like this built in the late 30s, just after radar was invented and just before war was declared. Before Chain Home, we were pretty much defenceless against aerial warfare. Politician Stanley Baldwin said in 1932 that the bomber will always get through. Radar changed that. During the Battle of Britain, towers like Stenigot sent radio pulses out into the sky and measured the echoes back to work out the direction that German raids were approaching from. It was just a blip on a little screen, but it was enough. And they had a range of about 100 miles, so the RAF could send squadrons of planes to intercept an enemy that was still forming up. Britain was seen as having a weaker air force than the German Luftwaffe, but this tower and all the others in the Chain Home gave the RAF the opportunity to win the battle for the skies. But soon after that, 100 miles of range wasn't enough. The Cold War brought the invention of nuclear bombers and then intercontinental ballistic missiles with speeds measured in miles per second. As threats evolved, so did radar. This is the RAF Bulmer Station in Northumberland, and radar systems from around the country, including this thing behind me, all feed into here. That radar network detects and identifies every aircraft in around 1 million square miles of UK airspace every minute of every day. The folks here are called cyberspace communication specialists, and the information they've got access to is beyond the dreams of the Chain Home.
So my role on a day-to-day basis is to maintain, upkeep the radar here at Brizlee Woods. So this goes from doing servicing on the equipment to looking at faults as when they appear and monitoring 24/7, 365 days a year. This radar can go out to 254 miles to detect any aircraft that shouldn't be in our airspace, and it's used as a deterrent along with all other radars in the UK to build a picture to keep our defence of the airspace safe. Anyone could intrude the airspace, and what happens is a radar beam is sent out and you get asked for an ident code to come back to see if it's a friend or foe, and we react from there.
So that's the present day. Where do we go from here? Here at RAF Fylingdales, they track objects in space. Yes, this is also part of the UK's early warning system, but they're also tracking satellites and a newer threat, space debris. The European Space Agency estimates that there are more than 500,000 bits of debris up there, big enough to knock out a spacecraft. We've left a lot of litter behind while we've been exploring. So there are all sorts of sensors here. There are telescopes, there are laser ranging stations, there is the enormous radar that puts out more than 1 million watts of power to scan the sky. There's an entire data centre just to handle all the information that comes in, and it's shared with lots of other space agencies. Originally, we had 100 miles of range, and there was a blip on a screen when there was a threat, and the response was to scramble aircraft to intercept the Luftwaffe. Now we've got 3,000 miles of range, and the response to a threat is to call up someone and tell them to change their orbit. As threats have evolved, so has radar. We have come a very long way since the Chain Home. There is loads more from the RAF Starship channel, so have a look around, and over on my channel we are testing an idea that radar made obsolete: sound mirrors. If you'd like to find out more about cyberspace communication specialists and working with radar, check out the link in the description or the video on screen.